Hey everybody, how's it going out there? My name is Full Q Developer and I show what I do. Don't tell you what to do, I show you what I would do in current situation that I am. This is part 2 of episode 9. We did the first part earlier at the normal time, and we're experimenting with doing a double header today. It is going to be a shorter one, aiming for about 1 hour to catch the there's some people throwing a basketball around later tonight. Homer says hello, hello, hey, welcome back, good to see you again. Yeah, so what we're working on is a do/journaling app. The main idea is that to-dos come from somewhere. They don't just float around in space and you have to do them. They're from a storyline that's going on in your life that you want to keep going with. So we're going to have, I guess the main UI is going to look like this. You're going to see the past few days. I guess assuming that today is Thursday, which is not, you're going to see the entries that you made for that day, and we're calling those plot points for now. And you're going to see how they're connected from, the last time you checked in with that storyline in your life. And then from there, it's going to have kind of a, if I can show this in the simulator, we're going to have like an action mode where all the to-dos that you write to each sort of plot point and see those, and also kind of a planning mode for upcoming stuff. It's kind of the basic idea of the app right now. And where we left off was when editing a plot point, we want to add some storylines. So we hard coded this in, and we want to make this a real what's the word called? Yeah, make this not be hard coded, make it a real a real screen, a real boy. There's some folks in the chat. The real official birdie says, QWay, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. And Kink subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. Subscribe for 5 months in a row. I'm gonna have to add you back to the subscriber list. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope your weekend is going great. Thanks for joining on this little excursion. Yeah, so let's try to hop right into it. And I know I'm going to say we're hop right into it. We're going to bump into something right away since that's how programming works. Let's see. So this is right where we ended the stream earlier today. Or you can see we have a couple cards in a lazy V grid. And the idea is we're going to select or deselect them. You can see right now it's just hard coded true or false for selected. So one idea is maybe we want to grab these from the database. We don't want to load just the current plot point. We also want to load, I guess, all open storylines. So you can easily select or deselect them. I guess that makes sense. We'll do all for now. We can always refine. So I guess to grab things out of the database, we're going to so this with plot point is just something that loads something from the database and passes it along to its content. So perhaps I'll make one that loads not just a plot point, but also open storylines. I guess we could do, it doesn't have to be all one view, right? Like we could do something like with all storylines. something like that. And then, of course, define it. Brand sorter list. Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. Yeah, so let's go ahead and define this. And where should we stick this? Where did we stick the other one? Let's put this right next to it. So we put it here in components. I guess that's a fine place for now. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription, Fran Sorter list. Really appreciate it. Here's a air heart. This is going to be a view, and we'll import SwiftUI here. And since this is going to be all, we don't need to pass in any IDs or anything. But we do need to get a content to pass along. And is this a view builder? I don't remember. Let's look at the other one. Was the other one a view builder? It was not. It just took turned a content, which we need to generify. For now, we'll just pass the empty list to make the compiler happy. Well, almost happy. Cool, there we go. The compiler's happy. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this query. And the query is going to be, how did we do it over here? I made it private on the view. I don't know if I need to make it private. There might be other places that use this. Maybe, maybe not. Well, let's just start typing away. It's going to be a list query. And it's going to return a list of storyline. And what's that going to look like? It's going to look like storyline.fetch all. Super simple. Friend sorter list says, I have concerns about layout frameworks in UIKit. When I say I use storyboard, they laugh. What should I use? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that you're experiencing that. You should use whatever you want. I personally have had problems with storyboards, especially when committing them to code and then your teammate is also editing them and there's merge conflicts. And they can take a while to load, and every once in a while, Apple makes something that you can't do in storyboards, you have to do in code. So I've been writing views in code. I would like to think before it was cool. But if they're working for you, you should stick with it. I heard about SnapKit, but third party seems good for me. SnapKit seems all right. I used it on one project a long time ago, and it didn't get in the way. It was nice. King suggests you can use UIKit programmatically. Yeah, I've written a lot of programmatic constraints, UIKit views. It can get a little tedious. You start writing your own helpers, and that's essentially what SnapKit is a bunch of helpers for writing your UI kit constraints. Franz Serderlist says, with deleting main storyboard, I checked for this, but this seems too complicated. Yeah, it is. If you have a lot of stuff in the storyboard, maybe it's just something for your next view controller or something for your next project. Maybe it's not worth your time to convert. If it's getting in your way, then it's getting in your way. But if it's not, then it's not. And it's not getting in your way, I guess it's speeding you up. So we're gonna execute this query in the local app database. And we're going to stick them on this property here. I need to import grdb query. No exact matches to initializer. What am I missing? Oh, it needs the word in here. It's not a helpful error message, but yeah, there we go. Then I can pass in all storylines to the content. Build failed. Oh, because this isn't capitalized. Let's go ahead and capitalize this. Dino says, yo. Transfer list is actually storyboard is not working good. Can't make or work a project. XO basic. I had two label and vertical, but they overlap. I am using SwiftUI for 1 year and I love it. I'm just learning UI kit to find a job. Yeah, storyboards can be a little painful. That's been my overall experience with them. King says storyboards are painful with Git when working with more people on one project. Yeah, exactly. The merge conflicts on a storyboard are really difficult, at least in my opinion, to resolve compared to regular code merges. Okay, so I guess we should write a test around this. I know we just kind of wrote it, but let's go ahead and write a test. This is the all storylines query test. And it's not so much that I think that I wrote something wrong and need a test to remind me how to do it. I just think this will help us flesh out the setup for this. We'll import the app testably, import UI kit, and I also predict we'll need a grdb here. So then let's define our test, which is an XC test case. It finds all. Returns empty when there aren't any. And these both throws. Oh, I forgot to write class. So yeah, let's go ahead and create a in-memory database to run these tests on. Oh, I guess for the empty one, we just want an empty database. So then this would be something like that. We're going to assert that this is empty. Oh, but this is generic. So that going to let me do that? It looks like it is. Wow, okay. I put what can I can put anything there. Oh, but I can't write view because that's from SwiftUI. I'm not importing SwiftUI here. That's okay. Result.count, we'll say that is 0. Let's go ahead and run this test. No such table. Let's check the migrations. Oh, I didn't rename it. Okay. Cool. So that one succeeded pretty easily. So let's do the next one. And we'll use a fixture queue here. And let's say that there's 4 in there. I think there's 0. This is going to fail, I'm pretty sure. Or I expect this to fail. Oh, it found 6 in there. What storylines do we have in the fixture? Let's see, fixtures.insert. Oh, we have 6 already. Okay, cool. I forgot we had those set up. That's fantastic. Now this should just pass. Now coming back to our view. Yeah, I want to drive this with a preview. And let's see. Guess we pass in the database here. Local app database dot fixture queue. This can throw. We'll just force try it here, which is fine because this is just in a preview. But I guess this can't be just a random UID. We have to use one from our fixtures. So let's head over to our fixtures. And let's see, we have this one here. So I guess we'll use this one. But there's been new releases since then. I guess we can update our fixtures. So this will be plotpoint.fixture.iosrelease.id will be the ID. And we want to limit this only when we're in debug mode. We don't want this to go to the App Store. And let's bring in the canvas. Let's see what we got going on. Because it's still being hard coded. Okay, So in the grid, we have all storylines. We want to do a for each here. Fatal cannot convert string. Oh, okay, yeah, so I guess this will be we'll go back to a string for now. And we can remove these. And there we go. Cool. So I guess we also need to know which ones have been selected and which ones haven't been. um, and I guess for that we need a little bit more information from the plot point. We need to know the current selected ones, or we want to create like another like with wrapper. But I guess the other thing we also want to do is, I guess we can just pass in the storyline because there's more we want to show on it. So taking a break from database stuff for a minute, we're going to do some UI stuff. This is going to just take the whole storyline for now. So this is going to be storyline.title. Yeah, no change. Then we have a color. We can use that here for the border. We can say, what is it? Storyline dot color dot icon color. Doesn't really come through that much. I guess it needs to be a little bit thicker. Let's say width of 2. We don't want to overdo it either. Let's see, when we add the background in, let's see if that helps at all. Storyline.color.background color. Ooh, that did not get clipped. There we go. Pretty dark, I guess. Cenodernic9 says, "I switched up from Flutter to SwiftUI. Does SwiftUI or UIKit keep me one step ahead when applying for a job? Want to be on the right track." I don't talk about jobs here. There's other channels that talk about jobs more, that are better, well suited for giving career advice. Don't do what I do if you want a successful career. But I can wish you best of luck though on your search. Yeah, I want to zoom in here. I'll zoom out. Yeah, I have no idea what employers want for a job. That's I truly have no idea. There's someone on Twitch that does like resume reviews for programming jobs, and I don't remember their screen name, but I feel like I should write it down so I can forward people along who have job questions. See, let's try a line with 1, with 8. Yeah, 8 is too big. Yeah, maybe 4. And then this can have the foreground color of, let's see, should we use the same icon color? Let's see what that looks like. That makes it a little too hard to read. I don't know if it's filled in or not. Let's see, if we say that they're not selected for now. Yeah, that's not so great. Not so great at all. I feel like even circle fill is the wrong one. Maybe we should do like circle with a check mark in it. Yeah, there we go. And if we toggle it, yeah, that's coming along. But four is still just a little bit thick. Let's go back down to 2, 1. I think 2. Cool. So I guess they'll start off as false by default, and then I guess we want to, when we click on one, we want something to happen, right? So yeah, let's convert these to a button. Ooh, now the foreground color is all blue. I don't want that. Just want the regular foreground color. Which I guess was black. I guess that's fine. I don't think it was exactly black though. But that's something we can sort out later. And then when we tap on this, we want to yeah, if we keep the database as a source of truth, if we update the database, it should show up for free in here. So let's start off with that, with making the update function. To make it async? Yeah, I think so. We can say task. Really just toggle, right? I mean, I guess we have the current state here. Yeah, so I guess we can get the database out of the environment. we do the right here or move it somewhere else? I guess we'll do it here for now. So we want to find by ID and throw yes, we know. Thank you. Oh, errors from here are not handled. Can we async throws? If we try here, what happens? Oh, it looks like we're allowed to try and it'll just eat it. Okay. Yeah, so the many-to-many relation is a story graph. We can go back to the iPad to show that off. Yeah, here's our beautiful models. We have a story has one-to-many plot points. Plot point has many-to-many storylines. Story has one-to-many storylines. And then, yeah, this was our brainstorming of what to call this before. We settled on story graph, but we didn't circle it. I guess we should fix that. Yes, this will be a if it's present, it's there. If it's deleted, it's not there, right? So we create one or we delete one. So I guess we say like if is selected. Wait, is this not a database table? Oh, we still got to add all the stuff on here. Okay, so this is a table record. This is a persistable record, and it's a fetchable record. And then it has the database table name, which is a constant. It's not a variable. And this is story graph. And let's make sure we have the migration for that. We do. A couple foreign keys. Okay. This is just here for my reference. We have the ID up there, and then we have the story ID. Oh, that's supposed to be storyline ID, isn't it? Yeah, so this is storyline ID, and then plot point ID. And we can set up the other stuff, the foreign keys, but I don't think we need to do that just this second. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're back here. So now we can save. Yeah, now we can save on the database. And I guess this should specifically be an insert. Um, oh, this should be storyline ID. That's what the problem is. Storyline ID. And so I guess this is right here, storyline.id. And we also need the plot point ID. And how are we going to get that from here? We have this upstairs here. I guess we could pass it down to each card explicitly. Or we could put it in the environment and have the subviews get it out of the environment. Don't really love either of those, honestly. I think the one that's least offensive is passing in the ID here. One problem with both of these approaches is that it makes it harder to play with in the UI. You can't just change some stuff. This is a try, and let's fix the formatting. Yeah, so if it's selected, we want to delete it on the other hand. So we can say delete all and then have a filter on it. So filter where it matches the plot point ID and the storyline ID. Oh, which I guess means we need coding keys so we can refer to those columns. Let's head back over there and add the coding keys. A string and a column expression. Storyline ID and the plot point ID. So now over here, we can filter by those things. We can say story graph.coding keys dot plot point ID equals plot point ID and story graph.coding keys dot storyline ID equals storyline.id. And what's the error? No, there's a way to do this in GRDB. Do I need to import GRDB here? I think that might be what it is. Now call can throw. Looking at a build failure. Where is it? Oh, just swap these. Okay, that's fine. Cool, we're building. Okay, so let's head back over to this view. Result is unused. That's true. We don't care. We can just discard, I guess. Let's see. I guess I'm thinking like, do we want to move this function somewhere else? Like, should this live up on the storyline select screen? Or like have it pass down in like an on click into here that does all this? I'm not sure it matters really all that much right now anyway. But a help might make it look a little cleaner. Let's see. Yeah, I guess the last thing we need to do is, and this is kind of what's driving it, is figure out what to put here for the is selected. Because that's going to be a database query no matter what. I feel like that wants to be inside here. Something like an is selected query. And this isn't going to compile, but this is kind of just sketching out the idea. What is it? Local app database. And I just want that to be a Boolean. And what's wrong? Oh, it needs a closing paren. And then we need this at query. So let's import grdb query. Yeah, so to initialize this query, we have to make a custom init. So we can assign these here, and then let's see, we'll turn this into the result of the query. Then we want to initialize this query with all this. We want to say something like self dot is selected equals. Yeah, here we go. And then we want to use all this, drop this in here, and then this will be local app database. Then I think we can delete all this. Oh, because we didn't define this yet. Ooh, this file is getting a little large. We'll have to promote it out pretty soon. Then property bool. Yeah, so this is almost it. Here, let's hide the canvas for now. King says, does GRDB update the view if data changes in SwiftUI? Yes. Well, to be precise, GRDB query. If you use this library with GRDB, you get some very nice, just nice flow of data in your app. And I've used it on other projects. And I guess I'm putting all those learnings from the previous stuff we've seen on stream into this here. Crap, I haven't done a queryable implementation in a long time. It's going to be pretty similar to the, the optional one. They create pretty close to this, but it's not going to have optional. So let's copy paste and take off the optional just to move ourselves along here. Default value of Boolean. I guess by default it's not selected as far as we know. It's going to publish Boolean. And yeah, this. Oh yes, then we need to define the fetch function. And this will be throwing. Let's return false for now to try to make the what's it called? Try to make the compiler happy. Does not conform to protocol queryable. Is that so? Not find any publisher. Oh, we need to import combine. Yeah, this file is getting rather large. Cool. So now this needs to take in those params as constructor parameters or fields because it's a struct. Let's call it the Command Z space paste. There we go. Storyline ID. Oh, I'm like not thinking. There we go. And the compiler is happy. Cool. We can write the query real quick. We can say bool dot fetch one from the database, and I think is there a statement version? Let's see, how do you want to do this? I guess we're going to say like count Yeah, count where, and then we'll return true or false based on the count. So I guess that's an integer. Or oh, they have an exists. Oh, but it's only by the ID. I don't necessarily have the ID. Can I do that filter again? I wonder if we can like save this somewhere to reuse it. Can I say dot exists? I can. Oh, cool. Not convert return type of SQL expression to return type bool. Oh, that's so. Well, then what does exist return? Returns expression that is true if and only if the subquery would return one or more rows. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. So how do I get a Boolean out of that? Is there an example of how they use this? Layer.filter. They make a request and they say request.exists, but they don't show the types on this thing. I want this to work. Oh, do I need to say as... not sure. Oh, now I have two dots here. How do I convert this to a Boolean? That's probably not right. This subquery. Should I just do like a count for now? I feel like I'm getting a little sidetracked by these query and stuff. Fetch count in the database. There we go. Call can throw, it sure can. We don't need this return here anymore. Let's see, did I hook it up? Let's just see what we get. We'll click into it, we'll go to the storylines. Oh, we don't have we only we only have storylines in the fixtures, not in the real app. Getting close to when I need to end, so I think the quickest thing I can do is make some fixtures here. Make these both part of the underway story, I guess. which means I need to create these. Am I pluralizing this? No, it's just not plural, singular. This is going to be storyline dot. Oh, this one's plural, huh? Look at that. Underway dot ID. And this is yeah, there we go. What's wrong? Oh, dot ID, of course. Let's do the same thing for the other one, the Android release. The previous Android release. The fixtures are out of date. Then if we come back to the selection screen and we bring in the canvas, failed to build a what was the error? Main actor isolated property plot point ID cannot be referenced from a sendable closure. Oh, is it because these are referencing outside? Guess let's save them to local variables, see if that helps. Hey, we got it. Assuming we're looking at, yeah, the underway release one. Oh, and hey, look, the preview is clickable. Yeah, so to show the answer to your question, Kinks, does your DB update the view if data changes in SwiftUI? Yeah, as our button click here is, where's our button click? Ooh, this file needs some cleanup. Yeah, here's our button click function. So if it is selected, then we delete. And then it refreshes the view, and you can see that I'm not unchecking it. All I did was delete it in the database. And then GRDB is watching the database, sees the change, and yeah, reruns the query. It knows to rerun the query by watching the changes in the database. So it reruns this the select over here. And it shows that it's selected or not. Cool. So let's see if we can clean out this file a little bit. There's a lot going on here. And then it'll be time for basketball. Okay, so here's the card. Maybe we can pull this card out. Oh, dot card I meant. Guess it's up to here. Oh no, it's up to here. Wow, that's big. So this will be extension storyline select screen. Drop that in here. So this needs a few imports. Import combine, import grdb, import grdb query, extraneous close curly. That's true. It is not true. This is part of. This is all part of the card. Wow. Okay, let's try building again. Command B. Import this little library. Kinks asks, why is the query needed then? Don't you query all items? Yeah, I guess it's a many to many. So let's see, let's bring back the preview. Bring back the preview. And bring back the iPad, which is here. Yeah, so this is all stories that perhaps my journal entry is related to. And it's a many to many. So yeah, so to show that that story is, that plot point is connected to the storyline, you create an entry in the many to many table, which is called story graph. Maybe it's time to clean out the brainstorm stuff and write it, write this more clearly. We have our models. We have plot point. Plot point. We have storyline. And this is many to many. And the name of the join table is story graph. And kind of we're stealing the idea of a graph in CS there, where we have points and vertices, and a graph is kind of how they're all connected together. Let's see, it might be helpful if I show the database, but I'm not sure how to do that in a quickly here. I guess I can say what's happening. So currently the story graph table is completely empty except for one row, which is matching the current story. So remember, this is the story. The underway release is the story that, I guess it's not shown here on the screen. This is going to be like a pop-up or something when you're editing the story. So this one's selected. So if we deselect it, now the story graph table is completely empty because we deleted the only one that there was. We click two things. Now there's two more rows in there in the many to many join table, saying that the full queue developer story and the underway story are both part of the storyline. And then again, I guess coming back to the iPad, the context is we're going to like draw stuff on the screen. kind of like this. Like you can, like maybe for the day, it'll look like this. Maybe if you zoom in for the hour, it'll look like this with like different zoom levels. I'm probably not explaining it well. But yeah, it's a many to many relation. King says, I get the structure, but I don't know why every card has to make its own query. Is everyone making its own query? Oh, yeah, I guess if you have like 1,000 cards, or say you have like 20,000 cards, you have, where's the preview? You have 20,000 cards, then it's just not feasible to load true or false 20,000 times. Like it's maybe not even feasible to load up all the IDs. But assuming it's feasible to load up 20,000 IDs, it's only when this row comes into view that we want to do the run the query to see if it should be selected or not. Yeah, the storyline that's just floating off in space. That's just the storyline. I think as the app comes together, maybe it'll make more sense, or we'll discover that this is a totally bad idea. Yeah, because I guess in this example, like if all the yellow dots are underway stories, like underway is the storyline, but then there's like 2 journal entries that have to do with underway. And if red is, I don't know, music, I made a music journal entry on Tuesday and a music journal entry on Thursday. I'm pointing with my finger, not my mouse. So if red is like music and yellow is underway, then music is just a storyline, and these are plot points on that story, and these are plot points on the underway storyline. So you need another row to say which ones are joined with which ones. I do need to go though, so yeah, feel free to ask again in Discord, and I'll try to write up something for you if this wasn't helpful yet. Yeah, but thanks so much for sticking around. Seems like a lot of you were able to show up more at Sunday night compared to Sunday afternoon. So yeah, this was a lot of fun doing 2 streams. Not going to promise anything, but this was fun. Maybe we'll do it again. And either way, I'll see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. New York City time. Do something today that an AI could never do. Create something, desire something, and have a relaxing weekend. You can follow me for more in my Discord. It's linked to from fullqueuedeveloper.com, which also has links to my apps on the App Store and my open source work. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Take care. Thanks again.